Good afternoon, everyone. So welcome back in the session of group discussion. Group discussion, as we know, it is everywhere. Wherever you go for organizational interview, you go for higher studies. It is something which is required everywhere in each and every field. Why it is required everywhere? To check the knowledge, to check how deserving the candidate is and what are the things the candidate actually can show. When we hire someone, like for example, if we are hiring someone for the managerial role, for the leadership role, so how we are going to check that? Does he have that leadership abilities or not? So for checking all those things, it is very important to go through the group discussion round. In the last few sessions, we have discussed about how group discussion is very important and how group discussion tells you about the employees. So today, quickly before going to the next thing, we will just see what are the skills, individual skills, which we see in group discussion. We're quickly going to check those skills. Now, in group discussion, whenever you get a topic, the first thing is in group discussion, the topic which you get is something which you don't know, for which you don't have time to prepare. So they just want to check your presence of mind. First thing they check is your reasoning skills, how good you are with your reasoning skills. Giving reason, but that should be logical. If you're explaining about something, if you are taking part into the group discussion, if you are putting up a point, if you are arguing with someone, then you should have some logical base, a reason why you are putting up that point. Simply saying a generalized statement about something won't make you an active participation of the group discussion. Next, communication skills. How good you are with communication. What type of language you are using. Are you clear with your language? Just speak simple language which is understandable by all. So make sure when you are in the group discussion, your language is something which everyone can understand easily. Then is content, what you are speaking. You all know whatever words we are speaking in the group discussion should not be the repetition which other candidate, other person has already spoken. It is very important to come up with your own thought, with your own points. If you speak in the group discussion presenting 5 different points, but all the 5 points are the copied points from other candidates, you won't get any marks from the panelists. But even if you speak 2 points which you have bought from your side, which with proper facts, proper logical reasoning, that is the time you score the point. Analytical skill. How you are focused, how you are thinking, like how and why of the subject matter, whatever question is there, how you are answering to that, why you are giving that logic. If you have that answer, that means you are using your analytical skill to crack that group discussion. Your creativity, how you can think different. People are coming up with many points. They are speaking many different points, but how you are bringing something new, something creative from your creative box. That is what they are checking, whether you are creative or not. Decision making, are you good in making decision? Yes or no? There are some person who are in favor of that topic and who are against also. Same person, Sometimes they are favoring the person, sometimes they are speaking along with the person who is in favor of the topic. Sometimes they're speaking against that person, being against that topic. So you need to make a right decision whether you are in favor or not. Covering the mistakes. How you cover your mistake? Do you accept your mistake? Or as soon as you spoke something wrong, you just quit, you just simply sit quiet? What do? Correct your mistake and come back with a confidence. That is what shows your leadership skill, that yes, you take accountability for your mistake and you come back. You'll come back with double confidence as in not overconfidence, but yes, confident enough in presenting your next point. Voice, it should be from high to low, low to high, depending upon the point you are presenting, depending upon the words you are using when you are presenting your points. So it can be high pitch, it can be low pitch. If you think no one is listening to you and you need to raise your voice, you can go with high pitch that can calm down the participant. Fluency, you should have good fluency with your language, good hold on your language. Improper fluency will distract the listeners. No one is going to pay proper attention when you are speaking. And enthusiasm, the enjoyment, the happiness which you feel when you're sharing your point. It's not just you are being forced to enter that discussion and that's the reason you are sharing, putting up your points. No, you are actually enjoying that discussion. You are enthusiastic about the things you are listening. You're feeling happy. You are happy that yes, you are a part of that discussion. So that enjoyment should be there on your face. Initiative. Many times, group discussion, a topic is put on the table and that stays on the table only. No one comes forward, no one takes the lead to start the discussion. Everyone is busy thinking who is going to start, or even if they know each other, like it's a group discussion in the college. So they know each other, they'll be talking among each other. No one will come forward and talk with others, put on the table, put the topic on the table open for discussion. So come up with a lead, take the lead that yes, let me start the topic, put up your point and ask, point out someone, call out someone that what do you think about that? And this is how you need to take the initiative, take the lead to get back to start the discussion. And second time within the discussion, if you feel that the discussion is going off the topic, it is getting diverted, you need to bring back the discussion. You need to bring back all the candidates back to the actual discussion which was going on. So those were the individual skills which are tested. Now these are the group skills. When you are working in a group, I told you, if you are being appointed, you are being interviewed for managerial role or for a team leader. So you need to have all these group skills, how you are going to work in a group, how you are going to manage a group. In that situation, these are the group skills which are tested, like your body language. Many people just look here, there. They are not sitting with a proper back, straight back. They are so dull that seeing them, other candidates also start feeling dull. So what is your body language? You should have a good and a proper body language. Body language which includes good eye contact. Even if you are not speaking, your point is not being discussed, still have proper and good eye contact with all the people in the group discussion. Why do we have that round table only for group discussion? Have you ever thought that why for group discussion we are being made to sit in such a way that everyone can see all other persons? Why are we being made? Why we cannot sit one after the other, how we sit in the exams? It is exam only, right? Group discussion is a kind of exam. We have to clear this and we cannot cheat. We cannot copy content from anyone. Nothing can be done. So why we have been asked to sit in a circle? So that you can know who is paying attention, who is about to speak, who are good listeners, who are having proper eye contact. These are the reason why you are being asked to sit in a group for the group discussion. Second comes your behavior. How you behave during that group discussion. Was your behavior favorable? Was it positive throughout the discussion? If something went against you, for example, someone was not favoring your point, how you behaved with that person, how you reacted in that situation. Did you reacted calmly or you became violent? How you reacted? What was your behavior? Teamwork. Group discussion are put on the table to come to a common conclusion, to come to some result. If you don't have results in your hand, then you can say that was not a healthy group discussion which happened. So for that healthy discussion, you need to have some result. So how your team work? Was your team supporting each other? Or were they all only conflicting with each other, arguing with each other? They were just in a mood to prove themselves right rather than accepting what other is saying. They were not, were they ready to listen to them? So this is how they check your teamwork, whether you all can work with different individual and make come up with a strong teamwork or not. Your listening skills. So listening skills include listening to whatever points are being shared. And how do you think that they are going to check your listening skills? How they check the listening skills? Because see, they are not in the discussion. Discussion is going on in its own way. Finally, a person will come, take the lead, give the conclusion, and come up with a decision. Like this is the decision, this is the result of a group discussion. So how panelists can check your listening skills? Any one panelist, any random panelist can come and call any random person to and ask, what was the discussion all about? What does that Mr. Aryan, the one of the candidate in the group discussion, told? What was his point? What did you understood by the entire discussion? Now, when you have to answer such questions, your listening skills is tested over there. Were you listening properly? If you were really listening properly, then you will have answer to the question which is being asked by the panelists. And if you are not listening properly, if you have not paid proper attention to what was being spoken, you won't be able to answer them. Next is your leadership qualities. Leadership quality will show how, if the topic, if the discussion was going off the topic, how you brought all of them back into the topic. If someone were, if two people were continuously arguing, they were not agreeing. So how you resolve that issue, how you started the conversation, how you took the lead, how you summarize the result of the group discussion. So all these things are the group coordination, the group in the group discussion, which are being checked when discussion is going on. Now, these were the things which are checked. After this, we discussed about the characteristics and purpose of group discussion. Now, today we will be discussing about the components of the group discussion. Now, if we talk about the components, what do you think? What are the components of the group discussion? What are the components? As per you, what do you think? What should be there in the components of group discussion? Planning. It can be planning. What's the purpose of group discussion? How the planning goes about, what's the participation, are the people participating? So basically, if we talk about the components of group discussion, it basically there are 3 P's about which we will be talking. So the first P is purpose. What's the purpose? What's the purpose? The purpose, the first component is the purpose of holding a group discussion. why we are holding a group discussion. So the purpose mainly is to arrive to a solution, to arrive to a decision, to come up with better possible solution to solve the problem. There can be many different purpose for which the discussion is going on. If you take your college example, a discussion, group discussion going on amongst your friends. So it can be related to where to go for the picnic, or your outing, or 2 3 days trip where we are going to go. So everyone will come up with their point. We can go we can go to this place. People say no, it's going to be a bit costly, or it's very far, we will not get much of time. So discussion will continue, and finally you will have the result. So the purpose, first thing is purpose. In this it says group discussion aim to arrive at a satisfactory conclusion. They want a satisfactory conclusion that yes, in the discussion, this was discussed and this is what we are going to do. That is the conclusion. The satisfactory conclusion they expect after the group discussion is over. A group discussion usually helps to decide the next course of action. So now if you have decided that you will be going to Manali for your vacation, or for your outing, you'll be going to Manali. So that's what you have decided. Now you'll be redirected to the next course. Now decision is being made. The result is there in your hand. Everyone agreed to go to Manali. Now what? So it's the base where which after deciding the purpose, you are going to the second step, the next course of action. Third, next point says random talk without arriving at a decision is not a discussion. You know, many times we sit in a cafe, we sit at a room and we just discuss that we should go to this, we should plan a trip, we should plan a birthday party, or we should go out for a vacation, we should go start going to gym. So these are the plannings, right? Ultimately, is there any decision? Is there anything, any result which you have got after finishing of the discussion? No, because every person was suggesting something. All of you didn't decided anything. There was no decision that we'll be going to gym, or will be going out for a trip, will be celebrating a birthday party. No such decision was being made. So any random talk which doesn't arrive at a decision is not a discussion. Group discussion simply means at the end of the discussion, you are having some desired result, a decision in your hand to be shared. Last point says it is important to clarify the purpose for which the discussion is being held. For example, you have called your friend. You need to tell them very clearly that the purpose for this discussion is we have to decide where we will be going after our exams. We have to plan a trip. That's the purpose for which we all are meeting. We all have come together. So you need to tell them the clear purpose of the discussion, and then you have to start with the discussion. Now, if they don't know what they have to do, what they have to discuss, they'll not come prepared for that, right? And now if they're not prepared, even if you put on that thing on the table, you start with saying, oh, I was planning to go to this place, I was planning to go to this place. They'll simply listen to you, because they don't know that you are planning for all of them. So for that purpose, you should make that thing clear, the purpose clear, that we all have to contribute. We all have to decide a place where we all will be going. Next is planning. Now here, did you notice in the third point what I told, that group discussion usually help to decide the next course of action. Now here we have come to a decision that we will be going to Manali after our exams. So next course of action is planning. We have to go to Manali. Planning about when to go, how to go, where to stay, which all places we will see, when we will come back, how many days trip it is going to be, what is the budget which is required for planning this trip. All these comes under planning. So once you have decided the purpose, once you have got the action ready that yes, we have to go to this place, now you have to plan about that thing. So in planning, the first point says people decide the aim of the discussion. People decide, like, the discussion happened, what's the aim. Now why this discussion took place? The discussion took place because we wanted to go out. It has been a long time, it's been 1 full year, we have not planned any trip together outside. It's a long awaited trip, so that's the aim for that discussion. A group discussion aim to arrive at some decision, cannot just have random expression or ideas. That what we have discussed in purpose, that any random talk between group of people is not group discussion. It need to come, it should arrive at some specific decision. Random expression, random idea is not included in group discussion. Now third is planned in a manner that every step takes the group closer to its goal. Now it needs to be planned in such way that yes, the results are showing that yes, we are planning to go to Manali. The first step can be, if you have booked the ticket, you have gone a step closer towards your decision, towards your goal of going to that destination. You have moved a step closer. So planning will be where you will see that slowly you are moving close to your ultimate goal. As leader or initiator is a person who prepare an agenda, inform the members about the discussion, fix the time, date, venue for the meeting. Now see, in one group discussion, you have already decided where you want to go. Now the leader who has taken the initiative, taken the lead that yes, we will be planning up everything, I'll take care of everything. Now he will prepare a agenda. The agenda will be, okay, today we will be meeting and we will be discussing about the place where we will be staying, about the tour, like what all things we are going to see, the sightseeing. Then when we are going to leave from here, our travel is planned for such and such date by train, by bus, by flight. All these things you have written in the agenda. You have informed the member about the discussion, like this is the discussion which happened in the last session. Now this is the agenda. For this, we are going to meet today at this time, at this venue, to discuss in detail and finalize the things. Now, when you have informed them, you have given them the agenda also. So they will be prepared that yes, we will be discussing these points, and if they have any input from their side, they will come up with that. At the discussion, they ensure that the member do not wander from the basic agenda and purpose. That's what they make sure, that now we know what we have to discuss. The agenda is already there. So now no one should come up and say, oh, let's plan for Leh Ladakh. Why to go to Manali? Now this is not the agenda. That is already done. Now the discussion is all about where to, when we will leave, how we will leave, where we will stay. Place is already decided. So the discussion, the initiator, the leader makes sure that no one is getting diverted from the agenda and the purpose for which the meeting has been called. Last is participation. Can you see the picture? Everyone is supposed to participate in that discussion. So the participation of members is the life of any group discussion. The group discussion is living, is alive till the time people are participating in the discussion. If the people are not participating in the discussion, the group discussion is that there is no use of putting a topic on the table. So that means the life of any group discussion is the participation, active participation. Hello, active participation from all the members. Second, members of a group have to be drawn out. It should not be dominated by few. A leader, the person who is taking the lead, who is having a good leadership skill, he will try to involve each and everyone to the discussion. He will take care that the discussion is not being dominated by just few of the candidates in the group discussion. The decision which is being taken is by the active participation and consent of all the members, not just by some of the dominant members in the discussion. That happens everywhere. Few people make a group, and whether it's right or wrong, together they stand for something and they come to the conclusion. They take the decision, right? That happens. But here, as a member, they make sure that the discussion is not being dominated by only few people. It is the group discussion. A group decision comes out where active participation, suggestion from all the members are being taken into consideration, and we go with the majority. Third point in participation says every member must contribute his or her share of information, opinion, etc. Only then can the discussion be meaningful and effective. Just think why they have selected 10 people to come for the discussion. Why? There might be something in their mind. They want contribution from all of them. If you think that your contribution is not required, they don't need your contribution, why will they call you? Right? They're not going to call you to be the part of that discussion. If they have called you, then they require your discussion, they require your opinion, your suggestion, your information to come to the final conclusion. That's what they want. That's what they are expecting from each and every member who is participating in the group discussion. So these are the three components of group discussion, that is purpose, planning, and participation. Now, you want to go with any kind of discussion or we should continue? You want to go with discussion? I think two of you are only there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, shall I give you a topic for discussion?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Sorry for the delay, ma'am. I was in a meeting with sports committee, ma'am.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, let's have a discussion on. Okay, I give you the opportunity to select a topic, but it should be related to current thing going on. Virtual thing we have already discussed, something new, something different. Come on.
Recent policies, ma'am.
Which policy?
Policies and on rate, increase of rate of the products and petrol, diesel and all.
Ma'am, we can talk about lockdown. What was the circumstance? What are the people
We
faced?
have been talking about lockdown like previously, I
Lockdown,
guess.
say that lockdown is done. Lockdown and
okay.
virtual way. Lockdown and virtual way of working, those two topics we have already covered.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
We need to
What
come up
about
with
this, ma'am?
some
Like the
beginners.
tax policies and petrol, diesel rate.
Let's take some general topic. Balmukund, this is where we are going to discuss about something which is known by everyone, right? We cannot take any specific topic where they need detailed information. Like if we talk about tax, so the person who are into that area, who are into that field, or that is related to their profession, they will know about those changes. If you are going to ask
then this is a good point, ma'am. Like we should take such topic which is relevant to the group, ma'am, not
Yes.
irrelevant to the group.
Yes, it should be a casual topic where everyone can put their points.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on, think.
Rio, ma'am. Rio Olympics currently going on.
The Olympics. No.
No.
Okay.
Come.
What else?
Let's take the topic of micromanagement. Both of you are aware about the term micromanagement? What is
Yes.
micromanagement? Okay. Is micromanagement good for the organization or not? The
Ma'am? Yes.
managers should go with micromanagement or not?
Mm, So, according to me, like micromanagement shouldn't be in an organization because you keeps on bothering people when they're working with, keep on asking them, and I guess because of that they get disturbed. So, what I think is micromanagement isn't a good idea about an organization. So, what's
I
your
feel
view
it
on
should
it?
be in the management. It should be in a micromanagement should be there because the employee may go wrong anywhere. To check it when a micromanagement is done, the manager will have a look at every process. If his employee is doing any of the mistake, he can rectify it at that time instead of sitting and correcting it at last time and checking it what was the mistake in his procedure. Yeah, I think that micromanagement is necessary in our institute, but it is not to that extent. It should be a plan.
But don't you think it's like more like disturbing them, even though like they're good at, like capable of doing that work without a disturbance? It depends on the person to
Many
person,
times,
right?
yeah, many times when people are capable, they are in such a hurry to do it, they make us minute mistake which we can't rectify, which we don't identify. We are in a hurry to complete the work, so we just miss out some things which can be only experienced by the person who is more who is higher than us, higher
But
than the
bothering all the
employee.
time, I don't think so. That's a good idea. Like bothering at every 1 hour of gap, like
Okay,
they're not getting the
stop.
time to work.
Yeah, stop. Both of you will continue, but listen to me. Both of you are not the good listeners.
Oh,
Both of you just want to focus on speaking rather than allowing other person to complete his or her line. As soon as you listen to the beginning of the point, you suddenly put your point. You are not waiting for other person to finish it off. When you are in the group discussion, make sure you are aligned. I know, as soon as something comes in our mind, we get very excited. We just want to counter attack to that argument. But this is not a good listening skill. And this doesn't give you a positive point from your panelist. You should learn to be patientful, listen, let the other person finish his or her words, and then you need to start with your point. Okay,
Okay,
yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
continue.
Okay.
So in an organization, like, see, in my organization, what happens in our organization, we don't bother people all the time. We give them tasks, we trust them that they will make sure the things goes perfect. But yeah, giving a check one, like, in between once or twice, that's okay, but bothering all the time isn't good. What do you say?
Yeah, trusting is a separate thing. I feel the uh, giving a check every time. It's not. I'm not telling that there should be a check every interval, like every 1 hour. But you must be having an eye on that person. It is not only about the person what he is doing. It is all. It's all depend. Whatever he does, it's directly proportional to the organization. It's like if there is any mistake, it is on everybody. It is like that. So the manager should have a check on it. I
Okay,
Okay.
I agree with you. Your point is valid, but it depends a person to person. What if a person gets annoyed or irritated with the, like, continuous check of his manager?
And what if person feel that no one cares about the work? What if the person
Ma'am,
feels that
manager,
our manager who has given us the work, he or she is not providing us the direction. He or she is not available for us whenever we require the help. So from the employee perspective, I'll say that I'll think my manager doesn't care. So if there is micromanagement, at least I'll feel that yes, at least he care. He will be there with me whenever I'll be stuck in a problem, and he cares about the work to be done.
Okay,
Now,
mark my point, ma'am. I have said before that not like every half an hour, but giving a check once or twice, that's perfect. But giving all the time and bothering all the time while they're working, that would not be that good to any of the person if they are like such time mindset.
okay.
Yeah. So I
What
haven't
if
I haven't said like not every single time they should get bothered, but yeah, once they just come for the clarification, yeah, they're doing properly, but not keeps on coming and bothering them with their work.
okay,
What if
benefit
the
of, yeah, continue.
yes, I'm continuing.
No, continue, Seda.
What if the employee take it as a leniency, like he would think manager is not bothered what I'm doing, so it's a he can do anything, ma'am. He cannot be like I should be perfect in everything.
Right. That's the point. See, a
Could
person
you
who
could,
can,
could could you please repeat?
she
I couldn't
simply
hear.
is trying to say that if a person who is capable of finishing off three different tasks in one day just completes one task because he know no one is there to keep a watch of his time. Others are doing one task. Let me also do one task at the end of the day when the manager is going to review our work. Everyone will be on same platform. Now here what he did, if there would have been micromanagement, if the manager will have keep tap a check of the activities, and he will be doing second task for which he was simply being lenient, he was simply avoiding doing that task. Now,
But yeah, we can. I'm not saying that micromanagement is like totally shouldn't be there, but having like 50 or like 75% normal like manager work, and yeah, 25% at least like you should have in an organization, depending
okay,
on like yeah.
so let's conclude the discussion over here with the points that yes, micromanagement is acceptable, is good for the organization, but up to some extent.
Limit.
Both of you agree that micromanagement should be there, but you strongly disagree with the thing of keeping a check on the team after every 1 hour, right?
Exactly.
So
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
the conclusion which we came. So it was, the discussion was short, sweet. Only one thing which I noticed today was the patience. In the second half, you did that thing. You were listening to each other. Make sure speaking comes after listening. If you are not a good listener, you cannot be a good speaker.
But
Remember that.
does group discussion differ from debate, ma'am?
Debate
Debate
is
is
where we cut down the point of other person. We don't want others to speak. We don't
yeah.
allow them to speak.
We take their
Group,
point and then uh,
debate is where that happens in the cabinet meetings. That is debate, right? No one is listening to anyone. All are speaking. It's a kind of birdhouse which we see there. But group discussion is the sensible thing. This group discussion are done for coming to some valuable solutions. That cannot be done if two different people will speak all together. We need
Yes.
to listen to each and every person. Then the next person should start. That is the difference between debate
Group
and
discussion is somewhat like professional, ma'am. Like
debate is also professional. They all are professional when they're debating.
no, ma'am. Debate is like not like that much professional like how we do in group discussion. Like one by one we speak.
Because that
That's how.
see, it's the nature. Debate is something where we just want to use our dominating power to convince other person to be to hold power on other person. But in group discussion we don't do that, right? In group discussion we don't want to use a power, we don't want to show authority, we don't want to influence any person. They're okay with their own thoughts, but in debate we usually don't accept that thing. Okay, that is the difference between
Yes, ma'am.
debate and group.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Okay, so take your break. We'll see you at 4:50, right?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, bye bye. Take care.
Bye, ma'am.
I'm sorry for the delay, ma'am.
It's okay.
Ma'am, I'm in a bus, so there may be some disturbance in between if I'm speaking.
It's okay, dear. It's okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Oh,
ma'am.
okay. Bye.